Great. Welcome, everybody, to the July 3rd, 2025 Board of Commissioners meeting. Thanks for everyone for showing up early today as we are preparing for the 4th of July holiday. Call this meeting to order and ask that everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'll start with attendance in Zoom land. I see Charles' iPhone with which I think is Sheriff Macias, Kathy Stacy, and Aaron Coker, which is probably in the Sheriff's Department meeting room. And in person, we have Allison Kivakowski, Chantel Judkonen, Chuck Nickerson, Jude Gates, Layla Matilla, and all three of the Board of Commissioners. So we'll move right to RFP openings and awards. We have one opening for this morning.
I'll make a motion to authorize the senior director, facility planning and IT, and evaluate the term of the recommendation.
Second.
This is for the Hay Tedder Supply. Any discussion? Hearing none on the motion, Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, we'll head to the consent agenda. We have some meeting minute approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 18th, 2025 public meeting minutes.
It's just to clarify, it's June 18th, 2025.
Oh, what did I say?
July, it's okay. Just
All right. And we'll do July while we're at it. Yeah, a little free, show.
Pre-approved.
Yeah, well, let's
Yeah,
start with the
great.
June 18th.
Okay.
June 18th, 2025.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
We're not doing the 26th, right?
Correct.
Okay. No more
Okay.
discussion.
On the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello, and I vote yes. Next, we have the agency nursing staff report for information. We are, as of our most recent assessment, we have looks like 46. How many?
So this period, we had 63 travelers and we're using 16 agencies. And this was through, I'm going through as of June 27th. And this just gives you an idea. This report is just what we're doing, LNAs, LPNs, RNs, and what agencies we're using. And it also gives you the rates of pay, I feel, and the rates of pay. Just so you know, this is Riley's report. Autumn's is more comprehensive overall of the differences between what we're doing, how, keeping people and all of that, which will come on the 17th.
And I know it's still an incredibly high number, because I agree, but I do want to say we, especially with Autumn, we've done a lot of hiring, both in the nursing department as well as other departments. We're still about 15 contracts down from September. We have others that have since ended that we're hopeful we're not going to have to bring back on. As we have hired, even in the last orientation group, we had 2 LNAs. We've had more interest in the LNA class through that further button that was added to our website. We got 4 people that reached out about the LNA apprentice that we were able to pass on. So still working on making gains and hopefully gonna continue to do it. So,
And with the rates have been updated on the website as well. So we've had more traffic on the website, Indeed because of that as well. So that's a big plus for us.
Are we seeing a lot more applications?
We're seeing
More.
them come through. Yeah, they are coming through as applicants. So, and when I was leaving, she was on the phone with someone that had called. So she's busy right now.
Go ahead.
Relative to this, the report I'm really looking for is the one that Autumn does.
Yeah,
And that specifically that would tell us how many agency to staff on both nursing and LNAs and show that progression per month so that we can see that we're losing agency and gaining staff and,
Yeah.
or see what that ratio is looking like. So I'll look forward to
And that is
June
coming next
17th,
week.
July 17th.
We made the change in the last report. In 2 weeks it'll come, so it'll show from the previous month to the current month that she's working on. It'll show that question.
And there's continued things that we've been working on internally. There's still gonna be some turnover in internal staff. Some of it, we're really holding accountable to things that haven't been held accountable, such as attendance. So we had some turnover in staff that were just no call, no showing, and then would try and show up after missing an entire weekend or things of that nature. So we are holding to the attendance kind of component as well as other accountability. So there still will be some internal turnover, but they're specific to essentially the reliability to show up and take care of our residents. In addition to that, Carrie has really hit the ground running our employee engagement, and I plan to invite her to an upcoming so you can meet. She makes amazing sourdough bread. So hopefully she'll bring it. But even during like the heat last week, she went around with drinks and snacks for staff and has really been able to connect with all shifts. And there's been a lot of positive that's come out of it already.
I think that we're just at the starting point of sort of the culture shift. I think we're just starting to ramp that up. And I know that in the summer months, it's the same reason you can't sell a house in the summer months. It's the same reason like hiring, because everybody's enjoying their summer, kids are out of school, have family vacations, things like that. So people are not thinking about job changing, like shifting.
Some people buy a house at this time.
Some people do.
However, so in light of that, I think what the focus is, and I think we're starting to see sort of that culture shift. That's just the sort of foundation is starting to be laid for that. So what I think is that the next 3 months, I don't anticipate much change. But I think that it's the second quarter of this year that we're really going to see progress. And I would kind of sit back and relax and be a little patient, because I bet by the time we look at reports in December, we're going to see some big change. I believe that, both in retention, on the retention side, and also bringing new people in. By September, people are going to be looking, we have the new rates updated. It's one thing to have a stipend, but it's hard to market with a stipend as opposed to having the rates actually listed and changed. So I am encouraged and excited for the second quarter of this year. I think we're really.
I think a year from now, with the work they're doing on expectations around attendance and behaviors and stuff like that, that had been overlooked, and now they're being held accountable, that will set the platform for how operationally they're running it, so I think it'll be a big shift, and I think it'll be a positive one overall, because they'll be able to depend on the same messaging all the time.
And I think one of the things that's been, I'm gonna say interesting, but it's really kind of breaks my heart on some level, is a lot of our managers are coming in on weekends and coming in on night shift, and the staff are like, no one's ever, we haven't seen. And that alone, you can feel the difference. And even when we're having, someone that calls out and they're running shorter, it almost, I don't want to say goes unnoticed, but the staff are just really have turned to this, like, we got this, and they're putting the residents first. And that alone is a huge shift, I think, for the building. And we're really trying to focus on more fun things and appreciative things to the frontline staff, and really working to change that culture. But at the same time, giving education and supporting them so that they can grow their skill set, and they have the tools that they need to be successful. And I think when all of those things fully get up and running and brought together is when we'll see really that true shift.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the July 3rd, 2025 accounts payable list.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 3rd, 2025 fiscal year 2025 accounts payable list with a total amount of $1,259,415.58.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We have a second motion for AP run.
I will make another motion to approve the July 3rd fiscal year 2026 accounts payable list total of $800,363.26.
Second.
Discussion? I just say this is part of the end of the year, wrapping up the end of the fiscal year, and why we have both AP runs and payroll this.
And half of that run for 2026 is the scheduled July bond payment, so.
Yeah. Let the games begin. And come October, we'll be really seeing, I mean, the building looks amazing. I know we'll get to it. I love the sign. I love the light. It just looks all so so beautiful, but it's exciting. I mean, it's like so close. You can tangible how close it is that we're gonna be in there.
Over there yesterday, the sidewalks, the moon.
Just, that's just beautiful.
Well,
it
got
is-
hit by a big tractor, all.
Stay out of the
I came
way.
around the corner with him and I'm like, you're too big for you, but. Yeah.
All right, on this motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes,
Commissioner Tombrilla, and I vote yes.
Thank you.
Next, we have the payroll. Approval.
Oh, me first?
We have payroll approval. That's the third motion under,
Motion to approve the payroll expense in the amount of $2,143,691.43 for the period ending June 28, 2025.
second,
discussion.
Just
Yeah.
for the record, it is larger because the employer health savings account contributions, if you
Come out.
take those away, we're actually under 1.5 million, so it's actually slightly
Mhm.
less of a regular bi-weekly payroll.
Still on par. Thank you, Chuck. On the motion, Commissioner Godu,
yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Tombrilla, and I vote yes. Commissioners' updates. Anybody have any reports for this week?
You wanna go first? Yeah.
No, nothing.
Okay. Everything's trucking along. And it's nice to be done with the budget and moving forward to I know that there was a lot of work and it's nice everyone can take a little bit of a breath and, use that vacation time or, enjoy some family time, enjoy the nice weather.
Just briefly, I mean, just wanna get here a little early, went in, met with the manager from Sedeco, introduced myself to him, and I saw some employees that were there before that are here, and they were very excited, they got new outfits and all nice new shirts and everything, so everything seems good, the guy that's running, it seems like a nice guy, he actually worked for Glendale way back. And he left and went to Sedeco, and now he came here, so encouraging, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, they're doing, truthfully, they've been really great to work with in communication, checking in, kind of updates, definitely working through some of the growing pains and adjustments with some of those items. Really proactive. We're doing a walkthrough with Jude's team in the kitchen around some of the pieces. And then just kind of identifying some things that'll actually help from an efficiency standpoint, as well as the quality for our residents with different pieces that we currently don't have, or we don't have enough plates. So we're working through some of those things to be able to continue to really stick to the quality that's expected from us. So
Great.
it's been a wonderful collaborative relationship so far.
I sampled breakfast this morning, just out of the cafe.
It's okay.
That's my commissioner update. I sampled breakfast. All right, moving on. Or they passed the big bucks. No, I'm just, we'll move to facility operations. We have a change order request for Mercy Distribution.
I make a motion to approve a change order request from Mercy Distribution from amount not to exceed $1,100 as recommended by the Senior Director of Facilities Planning and IT.
Second,
Discussion? This is just tariffs that are
gloves, yeah.
gloves, raising costs, so, and it's, by doing this today, we'll lock in the price, and so,
That's it. Actually,
okay.
We may not actually need it, just to be safe.
Great. It's maybe,
Yeah, we might, because of the total cost not to exceed, we may not need the 1,100, but that's reflected in the price.
okay, well, it protects us in the event that we do. On the motion, Commissioner Tombrilla,
Yes.
Commissioner Godu,
Yes,
and I vote yes. Next, we have a bid request for Evoqua Water Technologies.
I'll make a motion to approve the Evoqua Water Technology proposal and sole source bid waiver requesting amount of $21,462.20 for the purchase of 3 floating aerators for the wastewater Lagoons as recommended by the Senior Director of Facilities Planning and IT.
Second.
Discussion? Sole source.
Place else to get it.
Okay, on the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes,
Commissioner Tombrilla.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
Next, we have the application to register the solar array for net metering program.
yeah,
Good. Make a motion to approve the application to register for solar array for the next net metering program with the State of New Hampshire Public Utilities Commission and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents.
second.
Discussion? It's a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. This is as good as it gets. All right, on the motion, Commissioner Tombrilla.
Yeah.
Commissioner Godu.
Yes,
And I vote yes. Moving on, we have human resources, general leave request for the Department of Corrections.
I'll make a motion to approve a general leave request for the Department of Corrections Authority TV. The county portion of all benefits continue for the period of June 6, 2025 through July 11, 2025, as recommended by the superintendent and the Senior Director of Human Resources.
second.
Discussion? Allison, do you think that this should be the end of it?
No, I think we could.
Onward. Okay,
Appreciate that.
so, I'll make a motion to table this.
So I'll second that.
Why are we tabling this?
So we
Because,
could have more robust conversation in non-public.
okay,
Okay, on the motion to table, Commissioner Godu,
yes,
Commissioner Tombrilla,
Yes.
and I vote yes. This is tabled. Moving on to long-term care services, we have the Reiki Service Client Facility Agreement approval.
Motion to approve the Reiki Service Client Facility Agreement with renewal of John F. Cross, Reiki Master for the period beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Senior Director of Law Enforcement Care Services.
second.
Discussion? Just, do you have some?
I'll assume that Chantal is staying on top of that people really are getting some benefit from this, because I've always questioned its
I think,
validity.
actually, anecdotally, I mean, obviously, anecdotally, what we've seen is that people have really benefited from Reiki and things like ability to detect an ear infection, an inner ear infection, and all these things that were not detectable by, from like what we would think is typical medical intervention, but
Yes, we've also been able to avoid and use it as a first step before going the pharmacological route. So instead of prescribing a pain medication or something of that matter, which then every time you give a pain medication, you're also then adding additional medication because now you have to do a bowel regimen and other pieces. So we do see some cost associated that could be correlated on the medicine side. Also from our regulatory standpoint, we have to try non-pharmacological before we try that component. It brings me so much joy to say we even have a policy and procedure for Reiki now. So, it's not so much just everybody gets it, there's a qualification, we've had conversations with our medical team and we track it and monitor it around that. So it's not just that everyone gets it, it's applicable situations that truly have a benefit around that. And then there's a process and evaluation so that if someone is not benefiting from it or not using it, that they are coming off of that service at the same time.
that's great. I mean,
Maybe I need to try, see a Reiki master and
No.
experience it for myself.
yeah. You can
For
understand.
some individuals, there's been a profound benefit.
And just relative to the contract portion of this, this is the same contract we used last year. We're just renewing. And
Yep.
for all the reasons for compliance. And I can't believe we already have a policy. That is
Oh, we have
wonderful.
a policy for it, yes.
Well,
No financial,
it's on a per use basis.
so each time, so.
Yeah, $75 an hour or something like that.
Whatever
we-
limit that it's gonna be.
Well, it's,
So it's something that we track and monitor. We have an amount that we kind of try to stay within. Some weeks are lower, some would be higher. We actually, in this contract, came around last time, negotiated the rate lower than what we were paying prior for this rate due to the volume as well. And, continue to kind of work through those pieces.
Isn't there a monthly not to exceed amount in the contract, built into the contract? So it's so much per hour and the
Yes.
monthly do not exceed.
But part of the sort of from the financial end of it, that's the policy. I suspect really helps with the financial end, right? So we're not expending resources exponentially on it, and that if someone isn't benefiting there, to, you know, also those are cost savings, so. I feel comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, on the motion, Commissioner Tombrello.
Yes.
Commissioner Godu.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have adult medical daycare request for Easter Steels approval.
I'll make a motion to approve an adult medical daycare. Request dated June 27, 2025 to East the Citizen Additional Client DC. At the amount of $80 per day, 2 days per week, and recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services.
Second,
Any discussion?
But
I read the request. I mean, this is so typical, somebody that has dementia and still is at home. And it really adds to our goal of trying to keep people at home and not bringing them into long-term care. The wife just needs a break a couple of days a week, and I don't take that lightly, because no doubt she does, right? And my own personal experience with it, and it's a lot of work for the caregiver.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, to your point about the deferred institutional care, I should say,
Right.
that's a wonderful thing. And the second, you know, I guess we're just starting our fiscal year. So for the most part, this will be prospective, but we had plenty of extra looking at how much we utilized last year. We did not hit the max of our budget for adult medical daycare. So.
the only thing that I found that the letter from East Seals actually doesn't say what the motion says, so it doesn't say 2 days, and it doesn't say $80 per day, so if we put that in there for her, she's just asking to use funds, but she doesn't give an amount or a timetable.
I believe we have a set amount for
Yeah.
each of the agencies.
Exactly. Easter seals, that's the rate for Easter seals.
Somebody's gonna let her know that we put the number in there.
I'm happy to let her know, but it's the standard rate we have for all of them.
Right.
So there's a set rate per day that we pay for each of the two.
And the letter does say 2 days a week.
More money.
Right, but it's just at the rate.
So, concerned about money.
Well, we
We
approved,
the rate.
we approved the rate
And I'm
as
just
part of the
saying,
motion, so.
yeah,
we're
but in the
covered.
motion should be in her request, but that's. I'm not gonna-
I'm happy to follow up.
Yeah, on the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes,
Commissioner Tombrello, and I vote yes. Constellation Hospice Mass LLC Services Agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the Constellation Hospice Mass LLC service agreements for the period beginning June 27, 2025, for a term of 1 year and automatic renewals for successive 1-year terms, and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care.
second.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Have they agreed to all the Primex changes?
Yes.
Then I'm good.
Commissioner, okay, on the motion, Commissioner Tombrello,
Yes.
Commissioner Godu,
Yes,
and I vote yes. Next, we have a bid waiver request for Power DMS by NeoGov.
I'll make a motion to approve the NeoGov proposal and sole source bid waiver requesting another $20,476 for a 3-year subscription to their policy and compliance management platform, and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the High Sheriff.
second.
Discussion? I'd just say we're using Power DMS across the county, but I also know personally from using it at police departments, it's a great tool. And so any opportunity to put our policies online, so it's easy access is a great thing, so I think this is money well spent. also
Agreed.
sole source in this. Okay, well, it's not completely sole source, but like it's the platform where most police departments use, or policing agencies as well
Well,
as
we just,
in the
Yeah.
county, yes. And I mean, I think it's all the better if we can figure out a way to get the whole county using Power DMS, because we could then put the policies generally, like the county policies, but then we can specialize for each department.
I know in the system that we're using that system as we build it out, Jude's team, because a lot of our policies overlap off of the subscription we did, Jude's team's gonna be able to build out in the same kind of as ours.
Right. Is there an opportunity the only thing I would say, if the sheriff's department is doing it separately, is there a way to get sort of the county discount? Or do we have to?
I won't speak for the conversations they had, I believe the way that we pay is off of like users or subscriptions, and then you make workflows and authorizations and have the ability to. So for example, if Jude's team, if we didn't want for a person to sign in and see something of ours, you can give access of what's viewable. But I don't know if there's a way to toggle between pages, but you can toggle with different admins off of the settings standpoint.
Major Basha, do you want to speak to that? Have you guys had any discussions about trying to do, doing countywide platform with like separate?
Well, I think the only conversation that really happened, we asked them to, give some consideration to it. Seems like the county's really trying to move departments towards this, so I think that was probably part of the reason we got a pretty substantial discount, especially on the first year. But yeah, there wasn't too much talk about how it would interface with the other agencies. We were specifically looking at it for us. We were actually in works, getting quotes to them before long-term care. When I was excited when I saw when long-term care came in for their bid waiver request in April, because we're like, oh, this is a good thing because we're all moving this platform. But we haven't really talked about the interoperability. But I definitely agree that down the road, it would be fantastic if the county could put out all their policies through a platform like this. It'd be so good to know people that have gotten an updated, retrieved one. And this is kind of part of a bigger picture for us, because we're actually going to be, we'll be coming to the board soon. We're looking to do a policy overhaul of our internal policies using the Daigle group, which we're going to be funding out of asset forfeiture money to help provide that for us. But yeah, no specific answers to the kind of interagency switching back and forth between departments.
Would there be any utility in just pushing this off for a week and or two and trying to explore that opportunity? Because
we will lose this incentive pricing. We kind of had to beg them to allow it to go to this meeting to go past the
It's a real
first.
hook.
sorry, say that.
I'm sorry.
No.
We're gonna lose our incentive pricing that they're essentially waiving the cost for that first year. We had to beg them to allow it to just get to this meeting, because their hard deadline was really July 1st that they were willing to wait to offer this incentive pricing. So it financially will have an impact on us.
There was a huge discount in the first year, like $7,000,
Yeah,
$6,000
no.
or $7,000.
Essentially amortizing it at 20,000 per year.
Well, and then
Right.
it's 9,000 or it's 10,000 for the next 2 years, which I guess is their normal rate. I'm sure we can revisit when.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, listen, I'm fine approving it. I was just thinking, but can we try to, before we get live, see about integrating the county policies and if there's other opportunities for sort of having one single platform. It seems crazy to have be like siloed when we're all
One for
using.
each, right?
Yeah. Okay, anybody else?
Nope.
On the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello,
Yes.
and I vote yes. All right, department head update. Let's see, well, Major Basha, you wanna just stay on since you're here?
Yeah, I don't have anything to report on that. Like I said, just probably the bigger thing is for us is a global policy overhaul. And I'm sure the sheriff may want to chime in to see what he has.
Yeah, I would like to chime in. We do a summary of all our services that we do. So I think starting today, every month, I'm gonna report to the board of the work that we've done. June of 2025, I mean, we had dispatch calls, services, 18,530. We had 327 motor vehicle stops. We had 303 citations. Offense reports, we had 36. Arrests, we had 47. Warrants arrests, we had 29. Civil process, we had 499. In court transports, we had 352. On the IEAs, we had 7. So we have been busy. And instead of just saying that we're busy all the time, I like to once a month just report and just let you know what we're doing over here for the county. And have a great 4th of July. Thank you.
That sounds great. You know, what are you guys targeting the fall for the CAT RMS system?
Yeah, we still have tentative go live going in late September 23rd. So still working through that. I know go ahead.
Is the module, the J1 module or the like accident reconstruction module complete? Is it,
I
that's
believe I know there was one issue they were having with the accident module as referencing
Yeah.
diagrams. So I know we were I know we were reaching out to Portsmouth as well to seeing what they were doing with that portion of it. Because yeah, there's apparently some other free software that can use to import it, but
it's like,
I don't know if that's been resolved yet with the diagrams for the accidents.
that's as I understand it, that's the holdup, because you can't J1 it to the state for the reconstruction, which is like the entire holdup for implementation of the CAT RMS system. So they had to like create that module.
Yes, yeah, and
wasn't
I
sure.
know there's been some very spirited emails and conversations between Captain Walsh and any additional delays and holdups with stuff. So I know we're working through that because obviously I know Portsmouth is going through the same thing with their implementation. But you know, when we're representing all these communities, it's a lot.
We're working hard to get this thing done.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
It's
just holding pattern on what
it's just so complicated and trying to get everything online, getting these people trained to get it done. But we're gonna get it done. So but it's a great system.
And then, but I guess the reason I brought this topic up is in terms of, I assume that we can do particularly with the new CAT RMS system, it should be fairly easy to do analytics, a monthly analytic report based on the new CAT RMS system. What's, pull
Yeah,
some
it'll
data from the
be a
system.
lot easier because now we kind of have to manually pull individual stats for different reports. This new CAD will allow you to you can essentially set it up where you can generate a monthly report that's going to pull from all the different stats and divisions, which it will be less time consuming to put that together.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks. All right, we'll stay in Zoom land. Kathy, welcome.
Good morning. It's been busy over here, obviously, end of the month, beginning of the month. I do want to just report that we tallied up our numbers and we brought into the county just under $3.9 million for revenue. So last year was a good year. We were increased over the year before, and I'm happy to report that. And hopefully that will continue. I hope you all have a nice 4th of July. Thanks.
Thanks. Kathy, what were your revenue goals? I have to look at my.
Oh, yeah, for last year.
Yeah, I was just trying to see where we landed as opposed, I just don't have it off the top of my head.
We landed 11% above where we wanted to be. So
Fantastic.
good.
You
Happy
can help
about
offset Glendale. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Oh wait, Kathy, also thank you for, you submitted your report, your annual. I just want to, we're gonna all put this out there. Kathy is yet again the shining star of annual report. I
over
think on
cheaper.
July first.
Gosh, somebody's gonna get.
It was in Layla's mail this month, so,
It won't be me.
Good.
It's good.
how
It's all
many?
numbers, so it's pretty easy. It's, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
It's all,
No.
it's just numbers. It's very easy, so thank you.
All right, moving on to Allison, take it away.
I can't take away from that.
Sorry to put you in that.
Okay, we have the MOUs to sign for the two contracts where we had that week difference between the stipends that I've got that. We also have the holiday stipend that will bring down to sign as well, that Chuck and I have worked on, so that's for your signature. Benefits has done well. All of our pretty much audits have been completed. We're just working on anybody that had changes to their optional life. They had to submit evidence of insurability, so we're following up on those folks. If they don't get them in, that's between the carrier and us, but there's a grace period, and then we just, they can't stay opted into that. I think we'll have two exceptions to come before the board on the benefits. It's related to the high deductible plans, related to the HSA, confusion on the county's portion of the money going in. They said no, because they thought it was, they had to contribute to it. So they're writing their little scripts, and I'll bring that forward. And we're working on the 17th, we'll propose to the board, and I look at it as wellness because it's, just, brings engagement and happiness. Maybe having the ice cream truck rescue the rescue ice cream truck out of Salem again come sometime the end of July or August, because they're really booked and they're going to try to squeeze us in. But it's only going to be a difference of maybe $600, and I will ask to pull it out of our county wellness funds because Cigna said no. They don't see it the same way I do.
Cigna doesn't think giving everybody ice cream is a good, healthy, alternative? Wow.
There's a lot to be said for emotional wellness.
Emotional wellness, that's what it's about.
I tried to spring it that way, but it was a really good no, but that's what we're working on now.
There is scientific, research that ice cream actually processes differently than other, that it's not as bad for you as other
Because you're
desserts.
happy when you're eating them?
I don't know, I'm just saying, I read it it was.
Awesome.
But it allows other departments to use,
Correct.
it allow other departments to use their monies in their department so that they don't have to expend it on this. I thought this is a good use, and it's a one-time, it's a fun thing. And then the cups came in for the new building that'll be dispersed to folks, along with, we did some first aid kits that came in. And that'll go out to everybody, kind of a celebration of the new building and thoughtfulness to everybody across the county. So it's really great. So Cigna, we have our Cigna money already allotted, the $25,000. I'll be using, I think, 6 of that towards the last piece of the gym equipment for the new building. And they have gotten all of it through either the Cigna Wellness Fund or some of our wellness fund, and that's a fantastic, it'll be fully
Equipped. Yeah.
done. Yeah, it's
That's
so
so great, and it's like everybody can use it. We've
Yeah.
now funded that whole thing without having to extend our resources or,
So we're
um,
waiting,
Well,
we're gonna order that last piece probably in September for delivery, because that is the one piece that has a year, what do you call it? Warranty. So we want to make sure the warranty, we have that for that year.
Super.
And so
Yeah.
it's really great. I'm so excited for that. We have equipment everywhere. I think it's over in the barn. Yeah, it's fabulous. It's a really good thing.
busy
So that's
in
all I have.
assembly.
Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Allison. Chantel.
Good morning. And say it this time. So our census at the nursing home is 139. We are at 47 of the assisted living with both overbeds slotted for move-ins already. I don't have any numbers to share in regards to outbreaks, so that's always exciting. In general, we're really just working a lot on our policies, either creating them, updating them, or just essentially reviewing. And our electronic go live date is very close. Thank you. I know, Allison, I know you got them on time. I was really proud. we have a mass upload going in, so the team will be able to upload them, so that way we don't have to do them individually.
Oh, wow.
So that was huge, and Allison's team scrambled and got them to me, so we can have the policy and procedure booklet in there as well. So that'll be helpful from that standpoint as we work to build it out. This week has really just been a lot around Sodexo starting, working through some of those components, and working through that. Still a lot of follow-up on our side with Glendale around the credits and some of those components, so still working closely on that. And working with, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just on that, we paid April's bill. We still have
Did
to,
we just pay May's bill today?
yes, May's bill was today, so we're doing reconciliation on June.
Yes, June, I believe, just came.
And like you said, still going after the prior stuff.
Yeah, so essentially what it was is in March's bill is when the system changed from the Glendale to the Whitson's billing, and we kind of had that pause because we were seeing the increases in March and April. With that, we identified as a team that we essentially double paid on certain things because of how they were billing. When that was identified, though, we did not process the equivalents for April because we suspected the double billing.
Yes.
But we have submitted the information. Kathy Massel and Elaine spent a lot of time getting together the numbers, the invoices, et cetera, and submitted it over that were items that we felt were paid twice.
Yeah.
And then I was speaking with Kelly Whitson the other day, and it sounds like they're processing and then hopefully we'll be able to resolve that component.
So theoretically, we'll reconcile that, the overage we paid against the June bill.
That's the hope.
How are we doing with equipment?
So,
There was some dispute or question of what equipment they own and wanted to take with them.
so the equipment in regards to that is still in storage, off in a room that's not being utilized. What was requested, and I did send a clarification, is it would take a tremendous amount of time to try and scan every single invoice for it. So asked that they provide, because they had invoices that day that they didn't share with us. And if they can provide those invoices, then we can cross-check ours, to make sure it wasn't billed through. So we are waiting for those invoices.
Okay,
Okay, good.
well, then we can just, well, obviously, we don't want to keep anything that doesn't belong to us, but by the same token.
Yes.
If it does, we'd like to keep it.
Yes.
So,
They were supposed to come pick this stuff up, so if they don't pick it up, probably should let them know. If they don't pick it up, we'll figure out where it's gonna go.
So
The dump stuff.
I think they still
No.
want the items. We asked them to pause because of the way our
because we
billing
didn't
has
have,
been, to assure that it is not something that was paid for by the county. Because if a lot of items
They
as a
need it.
result pushed through, if they paid, a lot of it was just billed to us. So there are things that may have been paid for by them that then was reimbursed by the county and therefore our property. So in the interest of wanting to make sure that we were protecting our assets, we asked them to just show that they did purchase that, so that I can, or my team and I can look against what was billed to us in the equivalent month or following month to make sure that it wasn't reimbursed. If we didn't reimburse it, it is
That was
100% theirs.
That was a short list, like
If
29,000.
I say short,
it was, oh no,
the list was,
very,
very
That wasn't
lengthy.
like 29,000 or something.
it was like 90,000.
Oh.
And then
Well,
there's
then
a
there
shorter
was
list of
a-
equipment around it.
no, but you're right, that
Yes.
there was a shorter, but,
Yes, you're correct. The shorter list of what still is closer to that number.
but,
But if it's theirs, I know that they would very much want to pick it up and we gladly want to make that happen. We just want to assure that it wasn't something that was pushed through that we paid for.
Right.
But
So that's still a work in progress. And then just working really closely with Jude's team as we anticipate our move from D2 to D1, and her team has been huge in helping us get things set up from a safety standpoint for the transition to go as smooth as possible as well. So still working through that.
Great.
I think that's enough.
great. Thank you. Chuck,
On the top of budgets, so yes, the budget was fully approved, and so today I'm hoping to have the approved budgets go out to the Secretary of State, to New Hampshire DRA, and to 37 Rockland County communities, as required, within like 30 days of the approval by the county convention. working on the MS-42 form, which is basically just like how the commissioner's version is the MS-46 for the state, for DRA. The MS-42 is the county convention approved budget, so I'm working on that as well. So basically I have to crosswalk things from our format to the state's format. And then I believe the Representative Weiler as chairman for the delegation, and also John Butchik as clerk will have to sign that document. So, but that's not technically due till September 1st, but I like to get it done sooner than later. Up to the employer contributions for HSA for fiscal year 2026. How Voya does it, they don't post the contributions till 2 business days after the effective date of the contribution. So individuals, though, I'll send the file today, individuals should see amounts being posted on next Tuesday, and they'll get like the email notification on Wednesday. I think that's generally how it goes. With it being the end of a quarter or month after end of a quarter, grant reporting month, so that's gonna be fun because I've got vacation in the middle of the month, so that'll be expedited as far as reporting goes. Now that we've got the solar array fully up and running, I'll be registering the solar array project and I have to do individual EV stations registration with the IRS, including like latitude, longitude numbers and exact dates on construction start and construction end and a fair amount of data, but that's okay. I mean, for over 3 million in credits, I'll be
Worth the
happy
work.
to.
Right,
to do
exactly.
that. So,
I'm gonna work, but it's be worth it.
Yeah.
The National Public Employer Labor Relations Association Conference, that Alice and I attended, was excellent.
Junket.
No. In fact, with a time lag, I had the pleasure of getting up, have the dressings even for,
Oh,
taking a shower, breakfast and all that. And, yeah, it actually ended up just being
good.
work time.
Yeah.
In addition to class, class session times. All the sessions were great. Speakers were excellent. They're very passionate about the areas of expertise. So we learned some some things we haven't thought about as far as maybe some language to incorporate into some of the contracts, negotiating strategies, that would benefit both sides. And also, maybe looking at how, not with negotiations, but just overall with some possible avenues of incorporating, AI. And
There's a
so,
lot of AI.
yeah, so it's,
That localities and stuff.
and so we actually had some examples of like, I don't say real world, but it was set to be almost like a real world example of someone's journey from even being, a candidate through to the time that they left for a promotion at an outside, workplace. So it was kind of interesting, all the different stages in communication, using AI
Yeah.
to actually increase the employee engagement through the whole process.
It seems
So-
counterintuitive at some level because but I mean, it's great, like, that's great. to be-
Postings, language for collective bargaining, it was
Yeah.
really,
That's awesome.
Sometimes
mean-
we go to those things and find out we're doing some stuff wrong.
Well, we were fortunate to
Scary,
go in
like,
here in
like,
some
well,
places,
right.
how
Bad
fortunate
stories.
we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We heard about a couple, of their municipalities, I believe there were,
yeah.
that, dealt with far more number of unions and also had way more sessions. Like if we told someone that we've got, 4 or 5 sessions, including the ground rules, then, they look at you like,
What do you?
what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there are a couple there that I think raise their hands as far as having like 45 sessions on a contract.
Wow.
So, yeah, so
Wow.
so it's nice to hear about how we're fortunate, but also, get the benefits and takeaways of where we could improve, things here.
So the PowerPoint presentations that we had access to too are very comprehensive, really, really good information to walk away
I
with.
saved them all down.
Yeah,
So,
same.
in the sessions I didn't do.
Yeah.
And it was difficult, payroll, because obviously we lost one day of processing and lots of moving parts. I mean, there's even gonna be more moving parts in the next, bi-weekly payroll. But things got done, so I'm thankful for my folks and everyone in the other departments who jumped on addressing things. So that we can meet the, direct deposit deadline for last night, so.
Great. Thank you.
Or Tuesday night, never mind, not yesterday, Tuesday night. But thank you.
Jude,
Good morning. Oswald and facilities, the water treatment facility, Grandstein filtration project that's been going on for many months. Is scheduled to wrap up next week for training and. commissioning.
wow,
The facility will be able to run itself, if you will, for the first time since it was put in place.
whoa,
So now if we need to backwash filters, we have to manually make adjustments. It's all, we need an operator. But it will all be able to, you know, we won't have
So-
glitches and have people coming in at 4 a.m. to make sure something doesn't,
yeah,
stuff like that.
this is huge.
It's gigantic. We're
This is
very
huge.
excited about it.
Oh
It was
my
an
God.
ARPA project, so we're very, very
Oh,
pleased to
yeah.
have it coming to
This
fruition.
is amazing. It just-
Yeah, it's wonderful. The wastewater project is coming along, but they had to slow down now because we're spraying. And when the spray site's on, they can't have access to the UV and some of the pumps and things like that. So they're slowed down a little bit. They'll probably pick up again in September. So that's also coming along really well. The breaker was received for the main
Good.
breaker at the nursing home. It came in, we're scheduling the cutover for the 23rd. We're meeting with Sean Collins, her team.
You have a generator too?
Yeah, we've got an emergency
Yeah.
generator coming in, so there'll be about an hour shutdown in the morning and an hour shutdown in the afternoon. While
Very
they,
good.
while they tie in that, it'll make a huge difference.
Well, I mean,
So,
it's just
right.
so risky.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
And you think you'd like to do it in the cooler weather, but we really need a longer day.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
You want the light.
We've gone through it once before, so I think we have a pretty comprehensive list of the anticipated areas of challenge. So, opportunities. So, we'll be ready for it. We're gonna meet on the 16th and get it all together for the 23rd.
It's great.
So that'll be a really good job to get done. You've probably seen the water line is progressing.
Okay.
They plan on picking up one section of the water main until they pass the horse barn next week. So it's over the next eight
And so the
days,
schedule.
including today.
I saw the schedule, sure, somebody sent us a draft.
Yeah, we sent it out yesterday. We got it from
Yeah.
Harvey and they color coded it for us. It was very helpful.
Check or, Chantel, if you need a parking spot, somebody can grab mine. I don't know where you guys are parking.
Just step back.
Yeah, can you
I
take-
applied.
I've been,
I appreciate that, but it's been nice to walk around and.
Let me know, cause I wanna be able to tell them that it's not my car, don't wash it.
Well, if you just take a different car and that's what you're doing.
I need to wash, so,
so that's
I do have a
happening.
question for you.
The concrete building sitting on well number 4 was delivered yesterday. A lot of folks were interested in the big crane out in the field. So that was exciting. It was a precast building. The pump for the well is scheduled for August. So that's coming right along. All the permits are in place for that.
Oh.
The state's coming in today to do hopefully a final inspection on the emergency generators so that we'll be able to fill all the tanks with fuel. We're scheduled for load testing next week, I think the 9th and the 10th. For load testing on the building. What else is happening? There's a lot going on up there.
that's
There's
pretty
one.
good, as far as the fire department came in and
They were here for
Yeah.
2 days. They tested every pull station, they activated alarms. They came the second day and filled the hydrants. They wanted to test out, Harvey has put in a temporary solution for the fire alarm monitoring. So that it's wireless, which is not customary for a fire alarm. But the New Hampshire State Fire Marshal approved it, the Bradford Fire
Wow.
Department approved it. So they wanted to test every device. It goes remotely to RV Allen, who happens to be the manufacturer of the equipment. They called dispatch and it worked every time,
they let the
so,
the AC go on, cause.
exactly right,
Right.
The duct smokes are all.
everything. So now we can run the HVAC around the clock
Oh,
instead
boy.
of just Monday through Friday where people are in the building. It's much better. for the
Much
building
better.
And the equipment.
Right.
So we were excited to have that happen. Thank you,
That's awesome.
Commissioner. I didn't have it on my list.
Jude, are you gonna take a nap on November 1st?
Yeah, maybe.
I was like, Commissioner Godu, did you have something?
I'm still concerned about the move. Do you have somebody going over the deeds to go and evaluate what really needs to be moved over there? A lot of heavy equipment and
I
such.
sent Kathy the inventory that was done of her equipment, or I asked Warren Street to send it to her yesterday. Every piece of equipment was photographed and measured. And if there's anything that's not on that list, I've already told Kathy I'm happy to go down and measure it. We will have a site visit as part of the moving RFP. I have 4 or 5 vendors that I've already gotten together for the RFP. The county attorney is inventorying their stuff to see what they wanna retain or what might be useful to the county and what would be surplus, because most of their stuff is not moving,
Right.
but a lot of their equipment is useful, whereas Kathy's stuff, I think. It's
Gabby
been
has some
older.
big heavy files and stuff.
That's all been annotated, all of her files and all of that stuff. The only thing I'm not certain about, she mentioned last week that there were a couple of steel bookcases, metal bookcases that have old books in them. I didn't see them on the inventory, so I may have to get on and measure them, but I asked Kathy to go through the list first and see if there's anything else that looks like it's missing. There's a ton of stuff. Warren Steve did an inventory. It's really comprehensive.
Yeah, it'll be a project to move that
We're ready.
office. The
We
others
will
are
be ready.
not so bad, but
Yep, understood, for sure.
good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Leila,
Hi, good morning. There's no meeting next week, but I want to ask everyone to get their agenda stuff in by Friday, the 11th for the following week. July 17th meeting, please. 10 o'clock Friday morning, please.
reasonable?
That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody have new business?
Yeah, I wanted to know where we're at with our 91A policy. I know that we agreed that we were gonna add in the language as it exactly reflected in the statute and then send it to Attorney Bedard. Are we in process of that?
Yes,
Yes.
it's been sent to Attorney Bedard.
He's doing it now.
Excellent.
But I assume that once we get it back from Attorney Bedard, we'll put it on the agenda
To look
under the
at,
commissioner's report. Yeah, so that way it also makes it public and we can,
yep.
Okay.
Good,
so,
that's all.
I'll be coming up to Health Trust is having their Board of Directors meeting August 6th, 7th, and 8th, and it's up in Meredith. And I'll be attending that as a director. This is their time of year where they go over their RFPs that have come in for the board to approve different changes and their plans, also their, where they fund their money, and if there's gonna be any rate changes and stuff like that. So, it will just be my time that I will have off their time away from the office, but I'll have my laptop with me. And I'll be remote access in for anybody or anything that comes up. Julie will be on site during that time anyway, so I just wanted to advise you of that. The mileage and all the other expenses are through as part of my board of directors, and this is from the NHAC. I'm representing the interests of any of the counties and the cities and towns that are represented for Health Trust through the NHAC. So just wanted to give you that. It's not a joke.
At least it's funded by somebody else,
Yes.
some of them.
It
That's
is.
okay.
It is. Yes.
still the,
It's not a joke.
all right, without any other new business, old business, seeing none, public comment. I don't see anyone from the public. So with that, we'll move into non-public session. I'll take a motion to enter into non-public.
The non-public pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, 2, A personnel and C reputation.
Second,
On the motion, Commissioner Tombrello,
Yes.
Commissioner Godu,
yes.
and I vote yes. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Be safe.
Hello, everyone. We are back in public session after being in non-public session, and I'll turn the floor over to Commissioner Tombrello to make two motions relative to 3 non-public sessions.
We went into non-public 9:37 a.m., came out at 10:20 a.m. We had 3 items. I'm gonna make a motion that we seal one of them indefinitely because it could affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board. And the other 2 items would due to the fact that the render proposed action ineffective.
Second,
So the first, just to clarify, the first and the third affect reputation, and the second was the rendering of a proposed action. Okay. Any discussion? On the motion, Commissioner Tombrello.
Yes.
Commissioner Godu.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, I'll take a motion relative to bring forward, the general leave request that we had tabled.
I'll make a motion to approve the general leave request for Department of Corrections employee TB with the county portion involved.
So
All right, do we need that? We need to
That's what I
take it
said.
off the table.
that's what I was asking. Take
Oh.
a motion, I'll take a motion to bring it forward, to bring, take it
Take it
off the table.
table.
Oh, you made a motion, I'll make a motion to take it from table back to the board.
Second,
On the motion to, take it off the table, Commissioner Godu,
yes.
Commissioner Tombrello, and I vote yes. Now we have the motion that was already on the floor. Right?
Made it.
Sure, but for clarification for anybody, we'll reread the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve a general leave request for Department of Corrections employee TB with county portion of all benefits to continue for the period of June 6, 2025 through June 11, 2025, as recommended by the superintendent and the senior director of the human resources.
I'll second, but with the correction that it's July 11th.
Yes.
Was it on July 11?
Yes. June,
Sorry.
June 6th to
to
July 11th.
July.
Okay.
And I
That's been
second.
seconded. Any discussion? On the motion, Commissioner Godu,
Yes,
Commissioner Tombrello, and I vote yes. All right, we have one more motion.
motion to adjourn.
We have to, we have another public hearing at 11, but that's a new. So, on the motion, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Take care.